Hello, my dears. How do you do? I am delighted to be back to present the last lesson of your reading and writing book, and I hope that you enjoy it. My lovely students, on page 187, okay, we have the writing section of Unit 8. Okay, we didn't have time to go over this, but now we are doing it. This is very simple. And it is very easy, and if you listen carefully, and this is the last type of paragraph, okay, that we study in this book, okay, explanatory paragraph. Explanatory paragraph is a paragraph which explains a term or a concept. It explains a topic or a term, maybe a word, okay, a word or a phrase, okay, and we use explanatory paragraph, okay, to help our readers, to give information to our readers about a specific topic or a specific phrase or a specific word sometimes, okay, but we have to follow some they are like some steps in writing explanatory paragraph. Some things have to be followed when we are writing an explanatory paragraph. The first one, we have to write a topic sentence that states or defines the concept. So the first thing, topic sentence. The second thing, we have to write the definition of the thing we are describing. We can use dictionary as well. After the definition, we come to using explanations and examples. Okay, we use explanation and examples to clarify the topic. Okay, then we explain how this thing, for example, this topic is different from other topics, or how this phrase is different from other phrases. Okay, and the last thing we do is we explain that what the concept isn't. Okay, so let me show you a map. As usual, guys, the maps have been helping us since the beginning, and it will help you when you see everything in a picture. Okay, so everything becomes clearer. Okay, it is better than explaining it in a box. Do you see this? This is explanatory paragraph or explanation paragraph. It doesn't matter. Those two mean the same thing. This is how you construct a explanatory paragraph. So you write down the name of the topic or the name of the illness above. Okay. After this, you come to the definition. You write a definition of the topic. It's whatever the topic is, whether it's an illness or it's a word or a phrase or a topic about anything. Then you come to using examples, okay, or explanation. This is example plus explanation. Explanation. Okay, so you use examples and explanation. Use example and explanation to give more information about the topic. So you explain. This is like the body of the paragraph. Okay, it gives enough or sufficient information about the topic. The last thing you do is you talk about how is this different. For example, if this is cancer, you are talking about the disease. You are writing an explanatory paragraph about a disease, and this is cancer. How is cancer different from other diseases? For example, you could say that there is no cure for cancer, or it kills many people. Okay, this is the idea of explanatory paragraph. This is very easy. This is very easy, and now you can see everything in a picture. Okay, my dears, there you go with the explanatory paragraph. And for writing explanatory paragraph, so you need a topic sentence. And to write a topic sentence for an explanatory paragraph, use these phrases. Okay, you need these sentence structure. Okay, for example, dash is a dash that dash. Look at this example. An inhaler is a device that helps a person with asthma to breathe. Okay, look at this. We have also this. Okay, my dears, this is like a blueprint. Okay, these two. It is like a sketch. It is like a plan to help you to write a strong topic sentence for explanatory paragraph. Or you could say cancer is when someone then you write the other information about cancer. For example, look at this, example. An epidemic is when many people have an illness at the same time. For example, this is the topic sentence. So now you know how to write a topic sentence for explanatory paragraph. Okay, so the topic sentence, as I mentioned, before, must be here in the definition. Okay, you write on the topic sentence, then you define it. Okay, that's it, my dears. This is a perfect example, below of explanatory paragraph, and it explains, it gives you a sample of what the explanatory, paragraph is. This is a paragraph about pandemic. Okay, pandemic. So it explains this word, okay, pandemic, and it also gives examples. Okay, a pandemic is an epidemic that has spread to several countries and continents, becoming a global health emergency. So this is the definition. An epidemic can develop into a pandemic very quickly. For example, see, it's using examples. In 2003, SARS, or as it's known as, SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, virus spread from China to 37 countries around the world in just a few weeks. The avian flu caused a pandemic in recent years. In 2009, a new type of flu virus started in Mexico and spread to 70 countries in 8 weeks. A month later, the number of countries nearly doubled. Okay, so this is still giving explanation or giving examples about pandemic. A pandemic is not the same as plague. Okay, my dears, as you know, as I mentioned in the last part of your paragraph, you say that how is, for example, pandemic different from other types of, diseases. Okay, so pandemic is different from plague. Okay, plague is a disease which spreads quickly and kills many people. A pandemic can kill many people, but it doesn't always kill so many people. It spreads, but it doesn't always kill many people. However, a pandemic is a very serious international health emergency. So there you go. This is a sample of explanatory paragraph, and you can use this. As I gave you, the map. Look at the map, and you can see, and you can even underline the sections in this paragraph. For example, the topic sentence, the definition, the explanation, and the examples, and the last section is the difference. How is this disease different from others? We have some questions, 5 questions about pandemic. And the first thing is, what is the definition of pandemic? It's a disease which spreads globally. This is the definition. Okay. Number 2, what term is pandemic similar to? So pandemic is similar to epidemic. Okay, but the difference is epidemic happens in a particular area or in a particular country or town or city, but pandemic is global. Number 3. Okay, my dears, for number 3, okay, it says what examples of pandemics does the writer give? So it talks about SARS and avian flu. These are examples of pandemics. I will leave the other ones to you. For activity B, it says write a topic sentence for an explanatory paragraph for these topics. So we have 4 topics: common cold, an epidemic, asthma, and vaccination. Okay, use the 2 different sentence structures in the skill box on page 187, and you can use the dictionary as well. So it is saying you can use these sentence structures to write a topic sentence for these topics. Okay, look at the first one. Look at how I did it. A common cold is a disease which anyone can get. Okay, this is a topic sentence, for example. And an epidemic, you could say, is a disease, and then you can continue. Asthma is when you can write a definition that becomes a topic sentence. A vaccination is a, okay, define it. What's a vaccination? Okay, so there you go. For activity C, my dears, we have what? Activity C is based on activity B, and it gives specific information about these topics. For example, number 1 and 2, it's all about common cold. Okay, they give information about common cold. Number 1, a common cold is not the same as the flu, which is a more severe illness. Number 2, Although common cold is similar to the flu, flu symptoms are more severe. Okay, so this was about common cold. Number 3, it's about, epidemic. It gives information about epidemic. Like epidemic, a pandemic is the spread of an infectious disease. However, in dash, the number of people affected is much smaller in epidemic. Okay, so you write down epidemic. You fill the blank with epidemic. And I will leave number 4 and 5 for you. Number 4 is all about asthma. So you have to, fully understand the sentences, then you can fill the blanks. Fill it with, asthma. And number 5, it is about vaccination. So vaccination is a special type of medicine, while infection refers to any type of medicine that is given, injection refers to any type of medicine that is given with a needle under the skin. In fact, there are some vaccines that are given, by mouth or by, not by injection, not by, injecting a needle. Okay, there you go. Now you know how to do, that. For activity D, my dears, we have we have an idea map. This is called idea map. Okay, the topic is vaccination. You can choose any topic you would like, it's okay. You can use it for, these topics as well. So you write down the topic vaccination. Then you come to the definition. You define the topic. A medicine, vaccination is a medicine which helps people to strengthen their immune system against what? Viruses. Against virus and diseases. We have to give examples for vaccination. Malaria vaccination, vaccine, or for example, COVID-19 vaccine. You could, provide examples. And what is, for example, this type of medicine different from other types of medicine? Okay, so you write that here as a note. The last thing you write it here is that. And then once you are finished with this, filling these boxes, you write it in a paragraph, just like, the map I showed you. Just like this. Okay, for example, you want to write about COVID-19. So you write down COVID-19. COVID-19 is one of the deadliest pandemics in the human history. For example, this is the definition. Okay, and then you come to explain and you give examples about COVID-19. For example, what is COVID-19? You give more information. What are the symptoms of COVID-19? What does it do to the organs in the body? Okay. Then the last thing you do is, how is COVID-19 different from other pandemics or other diseases? So you have to say that there is no vaccine for COVID-19, for example. Okay. So after the idea map, please write down a paragraph. And for F, you can show this paragraph to your friends. Okay. And two friends, or you and your friend. Okay. You can work on the paragraph and you can answer these questions. Number 1, 2, 3. You can compare the paragraphs. Okay. How many examples does the paragraphs have? Okay. Or what is the topic of this paragraph? What is the topic of the other paragraph? You can do this, between yourselves. Okay. If you like that, you can do this. My dears, on page 190 we have adverbs of manner and degree. Okay, so let me first remind you that adverb is a word or a phrase. Okay, it is mostly a word which describes the action. It describes the action. It gives information about the action. Okay, and adverb of manner describes how something is done or how something happens. How does it happen? Okay, and it comes after the verb or the object. It comes after the verb. Our team played hard, so this is the adverb, and won the game easily. Easily is the adverb. These two are adverb of manner because they talk about how. How did they win? Easily. Okay. How did they play? Hard. Okay. So that's it. And sometimes when we have auxiliary verb, auxiliary verbs. Okay. Was, were, and those. When we have auxiliary verb, adverb of manner, goes between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. His temperature was rapidly rising during the afternoon. Okay, and you have to be aware that most most adverbs, they end in ly, not all of them. Okay, not the regular ones, but the regular ones, most of them end in ly. Okay, so that's I assume that you already know this. We have another type of this was the first type of adverb. Another type of adverb we studied here is adverb of degree. It talks about the degree of an action. Okay, so it tells what degree something is done or happens. It comes before an adjective or before an adverb. So this adverb of degree comes before an adjective or an adverb. It talks about the degree. For example, see, we have adverbs of degree here. Extremely, meaning to a great degree. Okay, especially, very, really, so. So is in between. Fairly, this is not to a great degree. Quiet. Okay, pretty. Pretty hard or pretty. Somewhat, and hardly. Hardly, it is to a very small degree. Extremely is to a very huge degree. Okay, look at these examples. It was an especially difficult exam. How was the exam? An especially difficult one. Okay, or an extremely difficult one. The man was breathing fairly slowly. Okay, as you can see, an adverb, is before another adverb, and it came before it. And fairly is to a small degree. Okay, it isn't to a very big degree. So degree is how, to what degree something happens. Is it to a very small degree or a very high degree? Okay, for example, extremely, a lot. Okay, or hardly, somewhat, not a lot. Okay, so I hope you understood all about adverbs of manner and degree. My dears, we come to activity A. Okay, my dears, for activity A, we have what? In this box, we have some adjectives. So it is asking us to change these adjectives into adverbs. Okay, so for some of them, we only have to add ly. Okay, and for some others, okay, those are irregular, and they have their own form. Okay, they have their own form. But for these ones, all of them, we use ly to change them into adverb. Common becomes commonly. Precise, precisely, meaning exactly. Okay, rapid, rapidly, serious, seriously, successful, successfully, and the other ones. I did number 2. Doctors have not been able to successfully cure the common cold. Okay. Number 4. Hatem followed the instructions precisely because he didn't want to make a mistake. Okay, do you see it? Number 7. The doctor told Anita that her problem was serious. She needed to go to the hospital immediately. Okay, immediately. And I will leave the other ones for you, the other 3, and I'm sure you can, figure out which one. So you have to understand the adverb and the sentence well to be able to fit it into the sentence. For activity B, we have what? This is asking for your opinion. You can write anything here. There's no right and wrong here. It is asking for your opinion. Okay. The first one, I think the world is interesting, or you could say anything. Number 3, I can drive fairly well. Number 4, for me, lying is extremely difficult. For example, what is extremely difficult for you? And a tip for you, my dears. So be aware that do not overuse very and really. Okay, so it is better to use adverbs, and these adverbs give specific information about the the thing you want to talk about. They give specific information about the topic. So it's not interesting, even in writing and in speaking, to use very and really a lot. So try to use other adverbs and to make your speech or your writing more interesting. Okay, there you go. Now we are done with this, my dears. We come to the unit assignment, the last section of unit 8. Okay, the unit assignment that is asking us to write a FAQ question, frequently asked questions page. So we are going to write a page, just like this one, just like in the just like in the reading, okay, just like the first reading we had, which was about, the flu, just like this one. Okay, something like this. This was all about, flu. It provided us with, basic or, elementary information about flu. So this is asking you to do something like this. Okay, something similar to this. So let me walk you through the steps of, writing, a FAG or FAG, question page. My dears, so first you have to brainstorm. You have to brainstorm. It says brainstorm a list for each question. Write down as many ideas as you can. For example, what illnesses do you know of that can spread from one person to another person? What are some illnesses that you or someone you know have had? What illnesses have you learned about recently? Okay, so it is asking you to brainstorm, to gather information about many illnesses, and then choose one. For example, I chose COVID-19. This is an illness. Okay, it is the world is currently tackling this pandemic. Okay, it has become a pandemic. It was an epidemic in China, but it has become pandemic, spreading globally and quickly to every inch of the world. My dear, so the idea is this. The first question, okay, you write is, what is COVID-19? So you have to, properly define COVID-19 here. For B, what are symptoms of COVID-19? So you have to write down the symptoms of COVID-19. For example, cough, flu, running nose, headache, chest ache, for example. For C, how is COVID-19 different from other diseases? Okay, for example, you could say COVID-19 is, dangerous, it is this, it is that. You can write anything here. Do not write short thing, okay? Write, provide enough information to, so your, page, your question page becomes, informative. It has to contain enough information. For D, who gets COVID-19? You can say that for, adults, okay, young adults, they do get it. But for, adults over 65, okay, this becomes more dangerous because the immune system is is not as strong as young adults or children, okay. And how does it spread? You all know, by now I am sure most of you, okay, know how this pandemic spreads. How can you avoid getting the virus? What are the instructions of the health agencies around the world? Okay, what are the instructions? So what should we do to prevent getting the virus? The last thing, how can we prevent the spread of it? So you can talk about 2 or 3 points here. So you have to give it as much information as you can. Okay, so your reader, okay, understands a lot, and the answers, they should be enough. They should be on a on a balance. They should be as as huge as the the questions. Okay, they should answer the question properly. That's what I'm trying to say. The answers answer the questions, okay, properly, not answered in half and there's still information to be said. Okay, so this is the idea of writing create an FAG. So you can take out a piece of paper, write down these questions, and leave places or leave space for the answers of these questions. So this is the whole idea, my dears. This is what you have to do, and we are done. And you can find these words, okay, you can find them very useful. And after doing that, you can use the self-assessment checklist. And now you know how to write as well an explanatory paragraph. Okay, now you have an idea, a clear idea of how to do this one as well. And my dears, I hope you have no problem and in understanding all of these. And thank you very much for being with me and for doing your best and for helping me, supporting me, because doing your homework and doing everything you can to keep up with the work, this is a type of support for me. Okay, thank you very much. I love you a lot, and I have my best, wishes for you. I want to, see all of you at the peak of success, and may you all be whatever you want, okay, whatever you wish, okay. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. And the last thing I want to say is that I did my best. I have always, tried to, give you a little help, okay. If I could, give you a little help, so that would be a lot for me, okay. So I hope you, benefited even a little from me. That is a lot, and I will, wait for your feedbacks, okay, for your feedbacks about the whole thing, and you can tell me your opinion, and you can, tell me the, negative sides of, the whole thing, and I will, make sure that I, make changes in my plans next time. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.